His Hurricanes back in 2015, and the Highlanders that year had come from nowhere as underdogs, just as they are. Jack Yendall captaining the Exeter Chiefs, as he has done for so much of the season. Top of the pile for the second successive campaign, now a fourth successive Premiership semi-final here. They're yet to lose one. And with support like this, little wonder. And I think important to note as well, after the limbo situation of the last few weeks, the edge has returned to the Chiefs. The bite, the competitive drive of knockout rugby, and that very much is the kind of raw meat that Rob Baxter's men need to feed on. Big expectations here, big hope, big excitement. Matthew Carley, our referee, assisted by Tom Foley and Jack Makepeace. Rowan Kitt is our TMO. Sandy Park, a cauldron to savour on days like these. Only Wasps have won here in the Premiership this season. Time to find out just what Saints learned from last week and how quick they are at adapting as well. A place against Saracens in next Saturday's Twickenham final awaits. Simmons gathers on the run at full tilt. Sends it down the throat of his opposite man, Dan Biggar. Naira Voro is launched early. Slips through the tackle of Matt Kvesic. And here's Moon feeding it back for Collins. Saints will want to play with real tempo, real urgency. And try and avoid too much in the way of
ball was out.
set-piece activity as Ryanak goes on a little dart. Picked up by Ratuni Urawa. Francis goes wide. Here's Hutchinson over the top for Ludlam in the outside channel, where Cuthman is there to meet him.
No, Exeter, no, Ace, no.
Painter, one of those drafted in today, and then that's gone forwards from Moon. Good pressure from Dave Dennis and the Exeter Chiefs defence.
Really good start from the Chiefs. Line speed good, making those hits behind the line, but just look at Don Armand here. And his speed back to his feet. Competes for the ball on the floor. Squirts out the side, goes down, goes through. And then he's back on his feet, making the tackle.
Find your spaces.
He's had another incredibly consistent, successful season, Don Armand. 100th Premiership appearance last week. Try into the bargain as well. First scrum of the afternoon. And this is an area that the Chiefs just love to squeeze out the penalties. Gain themselves field position. Well, that's a decent nudge from the Saints first up. It's a scrambled affair.
Same scrum. We went up and then round.
Looked like the Saints got the nudge on there, to be honest. Looked like they had a little bit of an advantage. It's going to be the big question, isn't it, Ben? Actually, bringing these big guys back in because you think you need more power almost takes away from Saints' game that they played all season. This really fast game. Maybe you could bring them on with 30 to go when you have to front up power-wise. But Saints obviously think the game's going to open up then.
Just going back to that first scrum, it's often the case when you've focused all week on the fact that you have to deliver at the scrum. As Exeter would have known, that was always going to be a big shunt that was coming their way on their own first put-in. That is solid, rock solid. Good from Saints as well.
No penalty forthcoming. It's played off the base, and Devoto feeds Simmons. This is Noel. Slipping around the outside, Jack Noel. Ball turned over. A loose pass hands Saints possession. Collins caught by Williams, and Ewers is there to help out as well. Northampton deep inside their 22, and Hutchinson feeds it on wide. That look forwards.
Always going backwards under pressure. Scrum.
And we're coming back
always
for...
backwards under pressure.
Yeah, they'll be a little bit concerned, the Saints. Jack Noel gets out on the outside channel a little bit too easy. You can't afford to miss one-on-one tackles. Hutchinson there dropping off. And then when you do turn over, don't go back into traffic. Try and feed it back long to Arthur with a long kick, maybe.
How well does Piers Francis do to
makes up a lot of
cover?
ground.
Yeah, that was really good start, boys. Same again.
Jack Noel in the 15 shirt this week, as he was last.
As soon as it's stationary.
Only the 4th time he's started a match in the Premiership at 15.
Bind.
More than capable performer in a number of different positions. Scrum time this time with a Northampton feed, and it's straight in, straight out. Harrison sends it on its way. Reinach. Just one of their many sparks this season. Probably the chief spark, though.
No more now, Chief.
This is where the Saints need to be good, Ali. 50-50s in the air.
Use it.
Put the box kick up. O'Flaherty's not the biggest guy receiving it.
Cobus.
Put him under a lot of pressure.
Thank you.
Up she goes from Reinach. O'Flaherty
Tom,
has gone
backwards
forwards,
off Saints.
I believe.
Okay,
Backwards
thank
off
you. Play on.
Saints, allegedly. This is Ewers. White to the short side. O'Flaherty preferred to Ollie Woodburn this week.
Off a foot, play on.
It's booted via Moon, and now back with Northampton, and Hutchinson attacking and exploding into the space. Well handled by Devoto, gets back and makes a second tackle. Nairavoro brought down. Penalty to Exeter. No clear release.
Yeah, really good defence from the Chiefs. It's a lot more open than they would have wanted, but Nairavoro held onto on the floor by Devoto. And the first 2 players can't shift arm and end up going off their feet. I think it's Francis on the far side. Rotuni Irawa as well, unable to shift the big Exeter back rower.
Slade with an acute angle, tucks it up to the 22-metre line.
Stay on the line, I'll bring them to you. On the line.
This is an area that
Just
was
a
so
metre,
big
just a
for the
metre.
Chiefs last week. 6 of their tries coming from
Saints, on
a
the
starter
line,
player
I'll
of a
bring
line
Exeter
out.
to you. Number 4. Move, come up, please. Just a metre.
White in at the front.
Yendall to Hill. White feeds Kvesic. Onwards to Ewers, barrelling forwards, brought down by Bigger. Thunderous collision in the midfield. Devoto, Simmons, Cuthbert looking for work. Yendall again, quick transfer to Kvesic.
Let go and move one.
Always trying to move
Get
that
out.
point of attack, even if it's by a yard or 2. Noel helping out with the clear out. Ewers again, who's already done a lot of carrying. Keeps it alive, but it's tidied here by Simmons, and then Dave Dennis, who had a storming game last week. Ewers this time upended. Great defensive work here from Saints, but they have to be on the money once more. Cuthbert racing forwards. Yendall. Brought down by Moon. Simmons. Slade, sizing things up, looking for the outside arc. Bigger brings him down. Nairavoro looks like he might have hurt himself in the process of that.
He was vital. You could see what Slade was trying to do, get the ball out the back door, through the gap between the 2 defenders.
Simmons goes wide, floated well over the top. Lovely pickup.
No, okay, ball exposed, play on, ball exposed.
But it's there to be won for
Good
Northampton,
contest.
and they're scavenging for all
Good
they're
contest.
worth. Chiefs have done enough. Armand.
So knock-on advantage by 8 White.
Cuthbert getting involved a lot already, isn't he? All over the field.
Advantage over.
Another little pop pass for Dave Dennis, who
Stay down 2, thank you.
fired himself all the way through the hole last week. Devoto for Slade. Harry Williams chuntering in that 5-metre channel. Probably not looking for the outside arc. Kvesic provides the target again. Devoto, the man left out. Simmons with the dummy, darts back infield. Pressure coming thick and fast at the moment on the Northampton Saints defence. This is O'Flaherty. Well held and held up in the maul. The choke tackle has done the job for Northampton.
Wrapped up.
Look at Lewis Loveland. He knows how big that was. From the big men in the middle. O'Flaherty off his wing, runs into a brick wall, and they just hold him up.
As soon as 5 joined, it has to be a
causing
turnover.
all sorts of problems with the outside hitch kick and step, and then trying to get that ball through the gap between Naira Ravoro and Bigger. Doesn't quite get out the back door.
Yeah, no, we'll play.
And then,
gents, it's a really
how well
positive
does
start
Harrison
on
do
both
just to
footings. Let's
swing
keep it
that
the
leg
same
around,
regardless of where
get
we are on the
underneath,
field.
hold the ball
Just
up,
find your spaces.
and prevent the knee going to ground until the referee's already called more.
Cobus.
Their defensive work has been pretty strong through the season, Northampton, but they've been working primarily on a game plan that demands adventure. They know they'll have to split their time appropriately here this afternoon. Ryanak tries to offload, that's gone forwards. And a promising little dart ends up with a Chief scrum on the 22.
It's great watching Ryanak, but just have a look at what Kvesic does off the base. The speed of Ryanak, you think he's about to make the break, but Kvesic there accelerates into the gap, pulls him down. Watch what he does now, straight back to his feet. Maybe they're a little bit unfortunate there, Saints, because I think Kvesic knocked it back towards his own side as he tried to recover.
It's been a remarkable season for Matt Kvesic. Really taking his chance, turned up in the pre-season, really lean, really fit, really hungry. Of course, no Waldrum, no Salvi, 1 or 2 more openings perhaps in the back row. Taking his chance with both hands, as Chiefs will hope to do here. Getting the scrum moving, they've got the penalty.
Tight head, you lost your shape and it went across.
And Aaron Painter being singled out by Matthew Carley.
It's a bit harsh because the ball's still in the scrum, they're still going forward, so I think the penalty comes as a little bit of a benefit to Exeter because the ball slid out the side, wasn't controlled at the back.
And it's looking like they're going to stick it in the corner.
The ball carrier. No one in front of the ball carrier.
And this has been a policy for much of the season for the Chiefs, Ben, hasn't it? There are points on offer, but they want more than 3.
Absolutely, and it's just that mindset and game plan, isn't it? To put pressure on the opposition, trust themselves to come away with the points at some stage here, even if it's just a case of camping down. But I agree with Austin for once in my life that
no worries.
That scrum,
7 all in.
It's got to go somewhere. The energy's got to go somewhere. He's not going down, he's staying up.
Yeah, you're good.
I think that is very much Ben Moon that's taken that off to the side. It doesn't go forward, but that's the wrong penalty for me.
Yeah, it's not always an offence to go backwards, is it? This is Ewers on the march for Exeter. They're within 4 metres, and we know how effective they are from this range. Second nature to them. Asking big questions of the Saints' defence. Ewers!
Short to me.
Matthew Carley unsighted.
Ryanak does remarkably well here because it just looks like Ewers has broken through the tackle. Looks like there's only fish off to the side to stop him. Goes through, I think Ryanak steps in. They're going to have a look at it. It looks like he scored to me.
Try yes or no, please.
Okay, got it.
He certainly got his arm free and made a clear placing movement, didn't he? Did he reach the line? I think that's what the TMO wants to check.
Oh, you can see the ball there, short of the line, but is it not back from Ryanak? This angle will probably tell us a little bit better.
Did he make the line in the first instance?
I got too late round. So.
Oh, no, I don't think
it does.
I don't think it's down.
I think Ryanak's knee's under that until he does place it short of the line.
Early tester for Rowan Kitt.
It's not really, it's easy. Me and Ben have told him what to do. It's not a try. Does it go down?
That's not down. And then when it did go down there, it was short of the line.
It's still
that's no try.
Yeah, great defence, Ryanak.
Okay, Matthew got a decision.
Yeah.
He is short of the try line.
No try.
No try.
No try.
Ewers denied. And Cobus Ryanak proving his worth, not just with those incredible intercepts and the extraordinary pace, but defensively so sound.
That last penalty now comes into play because psychologically those front row boys are saying to their Courtney Laws and Lewis Ludlam, you've got to give me everything, you've got to stay on, don't be worried about defending after the scrum, we've got to stay solid here.
Clearly off their feet, not clearing it. Yeah.
The guys outside the scrum are probably saying exactly the opposite. Don't leave me all on my own.
What I've just seen is slightly different.
Ryanak will play a key part in that, trying to hassle at the base so they can't get away quickly.
Crouch!
Van Fish and Painter in the front row for Northampton, all changed from last week. Up against Moon, Yendall and Williams, and the pressure coming on now.
Great shunt from the Saints. Now it comes back.
Northampton win the decision.
Backwards, stood up, then you tried to drive around the corner.
That is a big, big moment. Just look at the celebrations. They know points were on offer, points were spurned, and they've held out.
Well, I said before the game, it's a big decision picking a bigger pack if your game's based on speed, but it's moments like that that prove that it's the right decision. In your own 22, the first quarter of the game, if you hold Exeter out, those nerves that we saw from them 3 weeks ago start to just slowly find and percolate their way back into the brains of a lot of these players.
A part of it is trying to change the psychology of the referee, that we're not going to be the team this afternoon that you're looking at for trying to cheat their way out. If you can out-push them and out-scrummage them, and it's obvious to the referee that's what you've done, suddenly those little 50-50 decisions stop going against you.
Fish, oh dear, over the top, and Williams gathered it in, and Chiefs have something of a bonus. Slade for O'Flaherty. Clawed down by Collins, but they're deep inside the 22 again. Yendall's held. Harrison smothering him, White to the short side. Slade. No way through Francis.
He's off his feet, let it go now. No, it's a tackle, now let him go.
Harrison, oh, he thought he got the turnover, just stayed in it a fraction too long for Matthew Carley's liking. Again, another narrow call, Ben.
You heard me though, right? Yeah.
Putting pressure on themselves, and when you're tracking back, give away that penalty, but Exeter's line out will get another outing. It's so well drilled. Just get caught behind the gain line, don't they? And
6 or 7.
Trying to fight to get it back. The referee not happy with it. I watched the Saints warm up with their line out. It didn't look a particularly slick operation in the warm up, and it's cost them dearly here.
All right, Chiefs. They tend to be ruthless from this sort of phase, from this kind of position.
Just wonder whether it was a knock-on. Referee's asked TMO to have a look.
Can't tell.
He's going backwards, bounce forwards.
Out it comes from White.
Went backwards, bounce
Ewers
forward.
again, buffeted by the tackles. Dennis. Stopped at source. Chiefs reassembling. Armand, the latest, sent into those red and white shirts. Quick recycling. Again, it's Ewers. Again, though, the tackles piling in. Ludlam at the forefront of the defensive effort. Slade now digs it through, and it's gathered in by Tuala. And he's seemingly on, possibly even behind the try line. And I
think he's hurt himself,
I think he's hurt himself, you're right.
Stay down. Okay, someone's with him.
He stayed down once he gathered a ball, didn't he, immediately?
If he's short of the try line, how do they restart the match? It's a nice little kick in behind, but Tuala read it very, very well. As he goes down, what happens? Oh, he just gets a knee in the side of the head, doesn't he?
Knee from Cuthbert.
He's short of the line, and the referee stopped the game, so you'd have thought it'd be a Northampton scrum 5 metres out.
Over there.
Yeah, it's a lovely little probing kick, isn't it?
We checked with the
Could be an option, that.
Yeah, no.
Getting the ball behind Tuala and Naira.
You say Varo, I say Voro.
The ball shot out similar time, that's why I didn't let them.
But just looking at the blindside defence of the Saints, they need line speed, because what they're doing is, if you look at the Exeter's attack, it's all over the place, it's not realigned, whereas the defensive structure is, they can put a load of speed onto that and push the Chiefs back, but they don't. They all stand off and they wait, and if you wait against the Chiefs, you don't take any line speed, you end up tackling on your own gain line, and then just from a simple step, Slade gets in behind, and defensively, on the next phase, all your forwards have got to back off. So you've got to have line speed on both sides, otherwise you lose the impetus defensively.
So RC Tuala is restored, which is an interesting decision given the bang that he took to the head from Cuthbert's knee. And it's worth mentioning as well, Saints had a 6-2 split on their bench, so they're not overly well fortified in the back division when it comes to replacements. Just Mitchell and Burrell.
You've got Piers Francis though, haven't you? Francis can play in quite a few positions. He could go at the back, or even bigger for that matter. Very good under a high ball. You wouldn't want to take him out the 10 shirt though.
So yet again, a whole pile of pressure on the Saints pack. It's away for Devoto, very nearly sliding through. Bigger clings on.
Step back 11, thank you.
And once more the Chiefs are within sight. Dennis. Williams shut down, but rolling and scoring. All that weight, all that pressure, all that time. First try of the game.
Well, that is an absolutely sensational finish. This takes some scoring. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the shot's going to come in at knee height, and he just rides it. Picks the ball up, lets them hit, and then just rolls out of it, drives to where he knows all those bodies have come from, and just gets the acceleration, that foot drive, getting 3-4 studs into the ground just to power him over the line.
Harry Williams. Try against Harlequins here last month in that tricky spell that the Chiefs endured when there wasn't an awful lot on the line for them, having secured their semi-final spot so far out. And a really significant score here in the semi-final. So it took a little longer than they were hoping for, but Chiefs leading by 7. Austin.
It's all about the carry from Devoto, how flat he takes the ball from the scrum. Here's the tackle line, and he takes the ball directly on the tackle line, so he's already got 2 or 3 metres advantage, and even bigger, Francis, and a little help from Reinach can't bring him down before the line, and when you get that close, all your forwards are advancing to the ball, and defenders are all going back, and then you just can't stop the Exeter power.
Jack Knoll. Running into a brick wall this time around. Alex Moon only made his first Premiership start back in November. It's become something of a fixture in the second row for Saints. One of those youngsters that Chris Boyd has put an awful lot of faith in and has broadly been extremely well rewarded.
Use it!
Tuala waiting. It's bounced off his chest. Big pressure from O'Flaherty. Such a good chase.
That's a big moment because Saints are desperate from some time out of their own half.
When it's 50-50, I have to do something.
Since the first 5 minutes, it's all been one-way traffic down on their own line. And Tuala can't deal with it.
Over 15.
Yandel, the ball has been stolen. It's untidy, but Ratuniarawa feeds Collins, who's working some kind of miracle with his feet to stay out of trouble.
No, 5, no more. Use it.
Williams making a menace of himself.
Cobus.
And Reinach is told to crack on. That's gone right up in the air. He's got directly underneath it. It's been missed by Bigger, and the Chiefs have it. Black shirts beginning to swarm.
I don't think it was missed by Bigger. I think it was brilliantly pinched out of his grasp by O'Flaherty.
White a little surprised. Simmons a floated ball, and now a little burst from Moon.
They're all offside there, Matt. Midfield.
Dennis.
Setting up offside.
Penalty offside.
And Northampton
penalty advantage.
Breaching the offside line, so the advantage with Exeter, and again it's Devoto. Slade, physical.
That's a maul.
Full of running and being driven on towards the 22.
Offside.
On the cut line.
And there's the penalty for the offside line.
You must shift with the back foot.
Yeah, bigger stationary because the kick from Reinach came straight down.
Offside, you almost
How
shift
well
with the
does
back further up.
do? Eyes on the ball, comes up with it and wins his team, in effect, 3 points with Saints offside.
So another decision to be made. They are reluctant goal kickers, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, and they're going to go for the corner again. Personally, I would have taken the 3 there, a little bit further out, and just an opportunity to really hammer home the pressure on Northampton, but they just trust themselves.
But what I like about it is the coaching team don't send the tee on. They let them make their own minds up. Well, if you're feeling good, go for and do what you want, you think you can do. Rearrange those words into an order that makes sense.
And they may make sense, if you're lucky.
They probably won't.
Well, this is everything that Northampton were hoping to avoid today.
Get him in the middle.
Penalties in the middle of the park.
Stay where you are.
Kicks into
Stay
the
still.
corner. Defending line-outs deep inside their 22. Yendel, again, not clinical. It's been knocked forwards, though, by Van Veek as he piled through. And Devoto again causing all kinds of trouble with those hard lines of running. Nick White
Advantage over for the
brought to
knock-on.
ground. Simmons is there in position. O'Flaherty, little show of the ball, sets off himself. Noel for White. And Dennis. And Kvesic. Brought down this time by Ratuni Yarawa. Devoto holds it back beautifully. Simmons throws the dummy. That is glorious. Simple and glorious. Sometimes the Chiefs just make it look too easy.
Well, they backed themselves with the kick to the corner. The patience was good. And then Northampton, a couple of big carries to tie people in. They've got too many on that left-hand side as we look at it. And as a result, people desperate to get back out to the overlap on the right-hand side as we look at it. And the gap opens up between the quicker players and the slower players. Simmons throws a little pump past dummy.
Yeah, where you are.
And scampers over.
Celebrations all around Sandy Park, and it will be a popular score as well. Joe Simmons, who's progressed so much, so quickly, started last year's final, of course, and probably didn't have his best game, but he is still incredibly young. Turned 22 in December, holding off the challenge of the old stager, Gareth Steenson. Very much the present and indeed the future of the Exeter Chiefs at number 10. 14 points up.
Yeah, Saints starting to look tired defensively. The forwards aren't wrapping around far enough. And when you see a player like Armand coming into the contact, Hutchinson decides he's going to step in to help. Here's Francis, and then he realises too late that he's got to get back out. Then he overruns the play and allows Simmons back on the inside through the gap that was left by Armand. Lovely play by the Chiefs. Saints now got to refocus their defensive structure.
It's already looking like a long way back. Arching his back is Dennis.
Use it!
Nick White sends it directly into touch from just outside the 22, so a let-off here and a golden opportunity, you'd feel.
Yeah, first big error from the Chiefs. Saints just outside Exeter's 22. They're yet to get inside. Opportunity to launch a play to get there.
It's gone forwards. And at the moment, any little avenue that Saints think they can go down has been closed off.
The speed off the back of that line.
The TMO will correct me if it's clearly wrong.
Already flying, putting pressure on that handling movement.
That's right.
It's the difference, isn't it, defensively? When Saints want to get one of their set-up plays, they get blitzed in defence by the Chiefs. When Exeter doing the same, Saints are just letting them take ground.
I guess part of that is the number of phases that Exeter go through. It's very difficult to keep that line speed going time after time. When you're going forward, coming back, You've got to get back on your bike again, particularly if the ball's won quickly.
You watch this play here. I think they'll try and bring Naivoro forward and then Noel put the ball through. Cuthbert's really flat.
Ball came out.
If the ball comes out the scrum, that is.
No, Timmer, no, 8. It's already a ruck. Already
Harrison
a ruck.
has to back off.
He won't, he'll let you go now.
Good scrum from the Saints. It's one area that is really improved from last week.
We'll try and have a word with Matt Ferguson, the scrum coach, in just a minute or two from the Northampton Saints. See where this play takes the Chiefs.
Right, that's one more.
Almost certainly to
Use
the air.
it.
And the interminable caterpillar continues. This time White measures it up, and exactly the same result. So Northampton will have a line out, which Tuala's quite keen to see if he can take quickly. They'll just calm everything down for a moment. Let's bring in Matt Ferguson, the scrum coach of Northampton. Matt, let's deal with the scoreline to start with. I mean, you've had to absorb already an almighty amount of pressure.
Yeah, and a lot of that pressure has been from our own wrongdoings, really. One of the things you always know against Exeter is you're going to defend for long periods. We can't just give the ball up as cheaply as we're doing, and that's causing us to defend even longer.
Yeah, and now there's 2 lineouts just on the 22, and they've not gone your way. Can we briefly mention the changes you made? Obviously, much chatter around your front row. It's heavier, it's bigger. You've won the penalty now. But do you feel that that's made an impact? The impact that you were hoping for?
Yeah, well, we don't think in review that the naked eye necessarily got all the decisions right last week. But we came out with a specific plan this week, and so far the players are playing their part of that.
Matt, thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.
No, they
good field position here for Northampton.
You went in, but you were on your knees. You can't
their
take the ball
chance
out on your knees.
to try to dish out a little bit of Exeter's own medicine.
Yeah, but a little bit of apprehension for Saints. The line-out hasn't been functioning. I said it wasn't great in the warm-up. They've got to get this drill spot on. Harrison in at scrum half, ready to latch on the ball.
Taken in by Moon, and the maul looks good, it looks strong, it looks powerful.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage, the maul's collapsed. Reinach tries to pop it to Naivoro, who's driven back.
Stay back.
Painter, heaviest man in the squad at 20.5 stone. Reinach again for Harrison.
Still got your advantage.
Slips through Simmons. They're being forced back at the moment. And Hutchinson is caught.
Advantage.
Over the top goes Kvesic, and back we go for the penalty.
Great tackle by Slade. Marginally early, but gets away with it, and hooks opposite number.
Yes, the Saints players asking the referee if he'd
swam
caught
right
him before he'd caught the ball.
Well, you entered from the side, then you went further.
The maul was.
You can just take the line out if you want.
After the line out, the referee just telling Bigger that because it was a penalty direct from a line out drive, they don't have to go through the rigmarole of kicking to touch.
Off the line,
there was the great little spin from the Saints.
6 or 7?
Actually, that's pulled down.
6.
Double jeopardy there. Courtney Law's pulled down by one of the Exeter players after the penalty already given.
Fish and Moon combining, and again the same picture with a meaty drive forthcoming. Fish to the line. James Fish for Northampton, and they have a lifeline after absorbing so much of the Exeter heat. They've got one back.
Well, not only a lifeline, but a real shot in the arm for a way to get back into this game.
Hold the kick, Dan.
Oh, he's lost it.
Hold the kick a second.
He's lost it.
Put time off, Laurie.
Does it get knocked out?
It's the grounding.
White puts his hand in, moves it back.
Still
I think
touching the ball, isn't he?
I
but
think
still
he
touching.
hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't lost it, has he? White's knocked it backwards. I think you've got to give that, actually. That angle looks like he's lost it. It's White's hand comes all the way through and knocks it through.
Okay.
Time off with checking,
That's the voice of Rowan Kidd, of course, the
Tom.
TMO.
Okay, essentially.
Okay. Okay, so Kitty.
Yeah.
What I want to do, can we see it from the start? So if you're telling me that the grounding is not good, what we want to do is check the actions of 11 from Exeter.
11
Exeter. We had a call for in at the side, and if that's affected the scoring of the try, then obviously we've got a different scenario.
Okay.
Just seeing
You're
whether it's a penalty try. If it's not,
Kitty, it's 11 black entering after the maul breaks away.
so really good pass back of the ball. They come round to O'Flaherty's side. Now they go forward. That's O'Flaherty coming in at the side. It's him who actually makes the initial tackle on Fish.
I've got it.
So Matthew, the ball is dropped over the lines, so there's no grounding. But we've got 11 in at the side, extra 11
on the ball carrier, which then the ball carrier becomes detached and drops the ball over the line. So we're talking a penalty try and a yellow card for Exeter 11.
Oh my goodness! I mean, this is
turning around.
Let me just see the distance between Exeter 11's entry.
We're pretty happy on the first review. If you want to look at that, but I think he comes straight in from about a metre or two away
and contacts
directly on the ball carrier.
Okay.
You can show it once more if you like.
With the referee rather than the TMO, because if O'Flaherty's not there, if he doesn't do that, Fish still can get to the line.
The problem is, the more you look at it, the more you start to doubt yourself and change your decision on the field.
There's O'Flaherty entering there. Now he's on ball carrier. There's no one in that
gets
gap.
onto the ball carrier who then drops
Simmons doesn't make the tackle, doesn't get there.
Side entry onto the ball carrier.
So Chiefs down to 14, O'Flaherty in the bin, and all 7 points go directly into Northampton's bank account.
Well, if you think back to last week's game and turning points, Ryanak intercepts 2 metres from the line just before half-time. I know there's still 12 minutes to go in this half, but you want something to go for the Saints, it just has.
I think, in a way, it's better that it's 12 minutes to go, because sometimes when you split a yellow card up, it's easier for the opposition to deal with it. You only have to do 5 at a time. So the Chiefs now need to go into the planned moves and the planned strategy that they will have had if someone was in a yellow card. Slightly easier maybe with a winger than some of the players closer in.
Well, he's inscrutable, Chris Boyd. You really can't tell what's going on the inside, but he will be delighted that they now have a foothold. Dan Biggar will be pleased he didn't have to knock over a potentially testing conversion. And here is Biggar. Really get a hold of that either. It might work out. It's brilliantly gathered by Collins. And Collins is setting off. Shadow boxing with Noel. Got the ball away somehow or other to Tuala. Support is there. Clever bit of work from Tuala. Ryanak now inside the 22. What an extraordinary bit of work from Collins that was. Taken up by Ratuna Yarawa. Saints with their tails up now. Biggar going cross-field, looking to pick out Nairavoro. He's got it. Slade's onto him. And he's being manhandled to the ground by Cuthbert. Quick ball is interesting, though, for Northampton. Van Veek is bundled.
Off the ball,
and it's Chiefs
still
who are having to dig into the well on defensive detail. Hutchinson, good line speed from those in black. Collins cutting a nice line. Hutchinson on the loop, hangs on to it. Tuala! Incredible!
Yeah, looks good. Well done, looks good.
Hutchinson somehow got it away. And the Saints, from 14-0 down and looking dead and buried, are right back in the hunt.
Unbelievable. We mentioned before Chris Boyd and how much he's worked on the skills of this Northampton team. First, Collins in the air. A poor kick, but it's never a poor kick if the chase is good. Noel does really well not to bite in on the tackle initially, but then out the back door to Tuala. They then spread wide with the crossfield kick, and as they come back, have a look at this. Lovely ball on the straightening Collins. He waits for the second player to bite in, throws it out the back door. It's getting away from Hutchinson, and somehow he manages to not only gather the ball, but out of the back of his hands to Tuala. That is a stunning score. Have we closed try of the season yet?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's over.
Yeah,
Ollie Thorley won it, but that would be right up there.
Ali and Nick made a tough decision over 17 bottles of Malbec.
It's all about the commentary for Mullins. That was well wide.
But it's such a good try.
Be
It's
really
a brilliant tackle in the middle of it by Kovacic, by the way.
Be really careful with your discipline off line breaks.
But it's the line that Collins takes that pulls in the two defenders. Yes, the offloads were amazing, but it's a really clever line when all your defence in front of you is drifting.
Let's be careful with
to
our
come
discipline
short,
because another player
and
will
that
leave the
enables
field.
Tuala to get free. Take advantage of the sin bin. Saints certainly
stood
have.
up in the wrong place, you know that.
Wow, what a game. What a fight back, and again, testament to the resilience and the character of this Saints squad that is building itself into something really quite special, potentially. Now they have to go again, but with the man advantage still. Courtney Laws has it. Working hard to get beyond the gain line. He wasn't held. Here's Lewis Ludlam. Another of those who's had a lot of game time and a lot of outstanding performances this season. Slade really swiftly up in the line. Spread wide for Collins.
What a great read defensively from Slade. Just completely put Northampton off. Sees the play unfolding in front of him. Flies out through the initial line.
Holding and then illegal entry.
And then once they're in behind, Northampton short of support players. Look at him, he's read it, goes straight through. It's tapped on, but they've lost all their momentum.
Be interesting to just see this ruck actually as they go to ground. Looked like 3 or 4 of the Exeter players came straight off their feet through the middle.
Come on.
I think they might have got the benefit of the doubt there.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
Here it is.
As they go down, it's a good tackle by Devoto, but if you watch where Slade ends up, comes through the middle.
7. Thank you, 7.
I think he hits Hutchinson first before he goes down. I think the amount of players that are going off their feet in the game at the moment, that would have been a harsh decision.
Well, they're using their defence, or have used their defence, as a means of re-energising Exeter, and now it's their line-out that's gone awry, and Reinach's onto it. This guy will have the largest of targets on his back and indeed his front after last week's exploits. Ludlam battling beyond the 22.
Okay, he's pinned. Thank you, Don. Use it!
If you're hearing the occasional fuzz, by the way, that's the ref mic, which we're having 1 or 2 problems with.
It's his hairy chest, is it?
Taken in! Use it! Saints! Yes.
Reinach. Good chase on here from Francis. Cuthbert and Noel in the mix. It's gone forwards from Exeter. Chance to counter.
Knock on. Accidentally in front. Knock on first. Scrum, Saints ball.
Well, they're the balls that Saints are now starting to win, the 50-50s in the air. They're so important. It's a really good kick from Reinach. Hang time just holds a little bit on the wind. Allows Piers Francis to get up. I just think that that's a knock-on, and the ball is taken in front of him by an Exeter player. It's an offside.
Fight to stay square this side, please.
Things are going Exeter's way on a couple of the decisions today.
Let's go.
Crouch!
Kovacic just asking Joe Simmons what he should do. Stood at centre, hands on his knees.
Use it!
An unusual look for the Chiefs' number 8 here as Bigger fires it on its way, and Hutchinson for Tuala. They're using Collins well. Real consistency across that back line in the last few weeks for Northampton. It's allowed a much greater fluency to their game. That was an excellent transfer to Harrison. Ludlam running into Ewers.
They've become a team that threatens you perhaps most when you have got a man in the bin, because they play wide. They can take easy meters on the outside channels, but they're going to get this decision going their way, Northampton.
Yep, knocked forward in the tackle, so Saints with possession. And this quick transfer is what they're all about.
He's right, isn't he? Devoto gets his hand on that.
Saints ball.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they've spent an inordinate amount of time working on those kind of basics. The handling skills are in a different class to how they were a year ago for Northampton. It's allowing them to play this, yes, slightly risky but fast-paced game that's troubling all kinds of different teams at the moment.
Just looking at how worried Exeter are about Saints going wide. They've dropped Kovacic out the scrum into the front line. They've got 5 guys now. And he's there to get over the ball.
Ball was out, play on.
Reinach to the rescue. Harrison is there. Bigger, inside ball for Ludlam, clattered. They read that so well, Johnny Hill and Nick White, as Aaron Painter sets off and slips it away. And Fish has found Hutchinson.
Touch first.
And touch is found.
How about the nice hands from Painter? Just out the back of the hand, really good to watch. Just seeing Ludlam carrying into the middle quite a lot, and he's been hit on the gain line time and time again. His work rate's high, he's got a lot of carries. He's made 0 meters off 7 carries.
Really good shot. How well does Moon do to get over the top and stop?
You're right off the mark, Saint, so let's get across and then I'll get them for you.
But
thank you.
allows
Come on,
Painter
Cheers.
just to show his silky skills. He's been working on them as well.
Step where you're meant to be. 4 or 5. Thank you. Saint.
Dennis secures the ball for Exeter.
That's a more.
Couple of minutes only to the break.
Don't move from there, 6.
Not too much longer on the O'Flaherty yellow card either.
6 is good. Use it! Ball is out. That was
again
solid.
running out of space.
You're fine. No, number 3 let him through.
They're getting into
He's clearly through
Exeter
the gap.
a little bit. A little bit of frustration from the Chiefs fans in behind that line out.
Matt, wait your time. Wait.
O'Flaherty back with us. And of course, in the time that he was off, a wonderful Northampton try scored by Arsi Tuala. Great opportunity here with 90 seconds left of this first half. Ryanak to Hutchinson, who is clobbered in the tackle. Ryanak holds it back again, and Laws comes marching forwards. Ryanak again gathering, looking to go through the middle of the ruck.
Well, if they can leave the red zone with some points now, it'll be a really good fight back from the Saints. Starting to work for them when Ryanak runs from the base, slows down the line speed of the Chiefs on those big one-off tackles. It's a big defensive set now for the Chiefs.
Bigger back in the pocket, looking for the drop goal, clips it forwards and wide.
22.
Good option though, away from home. Edged their way back into the game.
2.
Execution not what he wanted.
Not off your feet, make sure you're up or you're clearing someone.
But just keep that scoreboard ticking over, keep putting pressure on the home side, everyone expecting them to kick on from their early points haul.
You know, it's an important game day. Chris Boyd's had a haircut. That's the gauge. Gathered by Tuala. O'Flaherty coming flying forwards.
No change of line.
It's taken on now by Ratuni Yarawa. Maybe there will be one last shot for Northampton. Laws.
Thank you.
Onwards from Bigger to Ludlam. Better in the carry this time from Ludlam.
From Kovacic, doesn't quite get.
You've got the ball trapped, you pulled him to ground.
The turnover.
Thank you, Laurie.
Bigger. Hutchinson, again, the early read by Slade, turning him back into the traffic. He's staying strong, though.
A penalty only slipped over.
Nairavoro gets the ball away for Harrison. With the advantage here, Northampton. Ryanak for Bigger. Van Veek. Bigger being held down by Johnny Hill for an extra moment or two. Little slip from Hutchinson. Oh, that's magnificent. Oh! How has that happened? From Comus Ryanak, of all people. He was in the clear. The try line was beckoning. And as half-time comes upon us, Hutchinson's lovely little show and go ends up with nothing.
Well, the one person Saints would have wanted on the end of this. Eyes come up, looking for where he's going to dot the ball down. He can't believe it.
They were 14 points down, Northampton. They should be up at the break. Remarkably, half-time at Sandy Park. It's Exeter 14, Northampton 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, seems to be better. If we're going absolutely crazy, yeah.
To know your opinion on this.
That's much better. No distortion. Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, be upstanding and welcome back to the field.
Scott! 40 minutes then from Twickenham. Who will it be? Will it be Aaron Painter and Northampton? Or will it be the Exeter Chiefs for a fourth time in a row? No changes made to either side, and a reminder that a week ago at half-time it was 21 points apiece. And Exeter pulled clear, 19 unanswered points in the second half to bury the Saints. Here's Reinach, who will be absolutely livid that he bombed that chance right at the death at the end of that first half. For a man who has had such a stellar season, it was almost incomprehensible.
Don't know where it came from.
It's time and a place, isn't it? And that wasn't the time and the place.
Well, you think about that, you think about the missed drop goal from Dan Bigger, which, you know, probably 8 times out of 10 goes over.
Good.
Small margins in a game of small margins. 14 points to 12.
Do you need me to send someone across?
Possibly.
The Chiefs know they're in a scrap now.
You're welcome.
Very much dictated for the opening 25 minutes or so.
Good. It comes out again, Jack. You're in trouble.
These are canny men, the likes of Chris Boyd, Phil Dowson to his right,
stay on the line,
our left, and Sam Vesti,
Assume
Alan Dickens, they're the coaching quartet. Sam Vesti picked out by Chris Boyd, really without knowing an awful lot about him, but time after time the message kept coming back that the best young English coach was Sam Vesti. That's not even close to being straight from Yendall. Northampton have it, and Ludlam is wrestling up to halfway. And this is Ratuni Yarawa. Fijian beginning to stretch his legs. Bigger.
Ball was out.
Nairavoro contained. Harrison.
Not held. Play on.
Goes again. Reinach. Hutchinson. Francis. Lovely bit of handling here. And Nairavoro's breaking free. The inside ball is good. Reinach is away. Shut down by Slade. Alarm bells ringing again for Exeter. Northampton have come out firing in this second half. Van Veek thinks about the long floated miss pass and decides otherwise. Tuala. Change of attack from Bigger. Back to the traffic. Moon. Route 1 into Hill. Kvesic going low. Bigger. No look pass for Francis, who is clobbered in the tackle. Dave Dennis does hit hard.
Thank you.
Bigger. Hutchinson. Little stop and go, only he couldn't get going.
Ball's there, it's available.
Moon for Ratuni Yarawa. Most phases they've been through so far today. Into double figures. Bigger across the face of the defence. It's too low. It's coughed up by Laws. And Exeter have it. And that is pure Saracens from Exeter. They've absorbed the pressure. They've regained possession and they've thumped it away downfield. But Nairavoro now is taking on all comers. Armand equal to the task.
Counter's good. Ball was out.
There's a problem in the back three when you've got someone of the power of Nairavoro, but zero kicking ability. If ever the ball was needed to be kicked or passed to the inside to Tuala, then it would have been perfect. But there's an opportunity of wrong people in the wrong place. Van Veek there had the chance to throw the ball over the top. Slade had the chance to throw it.
That's the old line out. Nick White is ending up being flattened by Ludlam. This is Harry Williams. Opened Exeter's account. Offside from Northampton. Penalty coming Exeter's way.
Offside.
It's a decision now for Exeter. We know they've been going to the corner. The line-out struggled a bit. I think they might have just posed. I'm just wondering whether Simmons pointed to the post there. Now he's lining up as though he's going to the corner. But the line-out hasn't worked quite as well as it did last week. 100% last week.
I understand that. It looks to me as if you're sometimes going a bit too long waiting for them to bring you back into a good position, okay?
3 out of 8.
Yeah, those are not the usual line-out stats of the Exeter Chiefs. Comfortably in the top 4 on the stats front, and some repeat work here
there in at the side, 50-50
for Harry Williams. So it's still not entirely clear what decision has been made.
You happy?
Corner it is.
Time on.
It's the corner. So a familiar position and a familiar threat facing Northampton now.
Is there a temptation to go
Just the meter, please.
Actually put
no one in front of the ball.
In the air.
7.
Team that's struggling mentally with what's happened earlier in the game.
Well, that ball secured by Matt Kvesic. And now they look to have their drive well set. In comes O'Flaherty to help out.
Pushing forwards. Has to go.
Stay on.
They've done well, Saints, to stem the flow, and Reinach is making the tackle on White now. but they're within 4 metres and they're keeping it close. It's there now for Ewers. Again driven back from the line. But this relentless march continues. Black shirt after black shirt, gathering around the ball. Taken up now by Moon.
All the way!
It's that priceless last 30 centimetres or so. They're over the line now. Matt Carley trying to work himself into position.
Stay behind the line! Release black and white!
Northampton doing everything possible, but they cannot withstand the barrage. Try awarded.
Oh, it's just so patient, isn't it? The pick and go round the corner. The phase that's actually scored, they don't go too quickly forwards. I think it's Moon here who picks. Oh no, maybe Dave Dennis picks, just stops and then dives in. And he doesn't come forward, he doesn't allow the Northampton defenders to get a shot on his legs. He just dives straight in and over. Nothing Harrison can do about it. It just had an air of inevitability about it.
All stems, doesn't it, from that Nairavoro turnover. If Saints clear their line, they get some defensive structure in place.
All good, mate.
I spoke about it in the first half. A couple of little lone errors has allowed Exeter into the game. And these Chiefs, they can really sniff out that goal line.
Well, a rather more glamorous try for Dave Dennis last week, popping up on an outside shoulder and careering in from 15 metres. That one, a touch more prosaic. Get a dictionary, Austin.
I know what a mosaic is, but I'm not so sure about prosaic. My dad was a tiler.
Looks good. Yep.
Clipped on its way by Joe Simmons. And the Chiefs will be feeling a lot happier about life now.
You're thinking of mosaic, Austin. That was a title.
I know, that's what I said. It was a repeating game, Ben.
Well, their efficiency from there is legendary. And for Saints, it has to be all about preventing them getting into that position. But the turnover, 60 metres out. And ultimately, the ruthlessness which has served Exeter so well through the course of this campaign.
Inside.
Serving up their third try of the afternoon.
Knock-on advantage.
Coming in, it's gone forwards. Ewers is battering his way into Nairavoro.
Advantage over.
Quick ball here for Hill. Simmons. Devoto. Liking the space he's being afforded, and Slade also. Noel. Keen to muscle his way in on the action. Simmons for Moon. Keeps it alive. O'Flaherty straightens straight through the hole. A lightning break from O'Flaherty. He's gone round bigger. Can he get all the way? Oh my goodness, he can. A solo spectacular from Tom O'Flaherty.
Well, big moments in big games. And a negative one for Saints turned into a huge positive for the Chiefs. They needed to secure their own ball, Chiefs, and get out
He will come to me the same
of their own half. As a result, Reinach under the ball, loses it, and immediately the Chiefs go from defence into attack. They go wide, and as they come back, O'Flaherty, the little step, goes to the gas, and then it's all about the arc of his line and the speed to cut two defenders and hitch kick his way through the despairing grasp of Francis. That is a sensational individual score.
That's a try that gets you into the final, isn't it? What a finish from O'Flaherty. His pace to accelerate out of the arc and get away from Pierce Francis. Leaves Moon floundering in the front line, and then has the ability to get to the try line. He will remember that for a very long time.
Well, he joins from the Ospreys last season, and he's had actually limited opportunities, but when he's been handed the shirt, he's made the most of it. And here, on the biggest stage of his career thus far, he has made it count. Wonderful score. Ousted Ollie Woodburn from the starting 15. And that's why the big decisions are made. You have to hand it to a director of rugby like Rob Bagster, who can put a winger of Woodburn's quality to one side and say, no, O'Flaherty's my man this week. Williams has come off. And Thomas Francis, therefore, is on for the Exeter Chiefs. O'Flaherty on the ball again. Dave Ewers drawing the man. Brought down by Laws, but yet again Exeter on the back foot. 16 points down in the blink of an eye in this second period.
Yeah, ball's out.
White. Mairavoro watching carefully, takes it nicely. To the short side, Collins, Fish.
Done well there, Fish, to stay on the field of play. So easily could have been run out.
Bigger. Caught by Dennis on the 10-metre line.
No.
There's Van Beek. Approaching the... Well, we're at the 50-minute mark, which is sort of time when Chris Boyd suggested in midweek he might think about making some changes. We mentioned the 6-2 split on the Saints bench. Jamie Gibson and Tom Wood, David Ribbons amongst those who will be able to add value, you feel, for the last half hour or so.
They're just starting again to lose those collisions, and Gibson certainly would add to that, as would Ribbons.
Francis has found Ludlam with a lovely floated ball. The counter-rocking is strong here from the Chiefs.
No.
Cuthbert causing trouble. Nairavoro set free. And he's launched the ball in the direction of Jack Knoll. Knoll in broken field. Dangerous business.
Advantage over.
Still not held. White. Cuthbert. Against the grain. And power in the tackle. Over the 10-metre line. Brought down by Hutchinson. White is there.
Play on.
Devoto. Saints all over the place at the moment. And they've knocked the ball on. So the Chiefs will have the scrum. But those are anxious moments for those of a Northampton persuasion. A lot of holes opening up.
There was a forward pass.
I'm not sure Cuthbert could be
The Chiefs
sort of just opened up for him, didn't it? He kicked out of it, and when he got free, he's looking for a bit of support. They all hang off him, he takes the metres. White does really well to keep the move alive, but just that step back on Ludlam, and then spins out, and then no one went to him.
Forward pass first, then a knock-on.
And Hutchinson doesn't compete in the ruck. If he goes over the ball there, they don't recycle. They've got to start slowing down this Chiefs ball if they want any chance of getting back into this game. Just looking back to the try that was scored, it looked like there may have been a little bit of off the ball. If you have a little look at Kovacic on Moon, he just holds him off ever so slightly, just pulls him back. It only takes half a yard. For that break to happen or not happen. TMO looked at it, thought it was okay.
4 and 5 replacement.
So we've had some changes made. And we've got an all-new front row for the Chiefs now.
It was a forward pass first,
Moon
then a knock-on.
Also,
okay, so it's the same scrum.
Going off to join Harry Williams. We've got Hepburn, Cowan,
Inside the
Francis
22,
in the front
guys,
row now for Exeter.
Okay, we had a forward pass, then a knock-on.
Of David Ribbons.
New personnel, you've
Alex
seen the
Moon,
standard.
and Ratuni Arawa also replaced. Jamie Gibson is on, meaning that Laws will move into the second row.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Again, straight out from Saints. Not using it as any other vehicle than a restart.
Tackle move!
The scrummage, Bigger is well held. Harrison. Fighting beyond contact always, isn't he, Timana Harrison?
It's inside, always inside.
Bigger.
Just wait. Wait, thank you.
Noel underneath this. Acres of green in front of him. Bringing in Cuthbert.
Thank you, Seven.
Hepburn. Real dynamism in the carry.
That's now a tackle off the ball. Okay, he released and
Ball
went
has
back
been stripped
on.
and Ludlam has it.
Turnover good.
Bigger. Francis. Huge ball to Hutchinson. Smuggles it away. Gibson drives forwards. Fish. Oh dear, that's gone to nobody in particular. Hutchinson to Tuala. They are playing with fire here, Northampton. Collins is buried deep inside the 22.
Off the ball, Matthew, by Black when they appealed. Penalty only.
Tackle off the ball,
tackle
and
off the ball.
The assistance
Numbers.
for Matthew Carley coming from our TMO Rowan Kit.
Kitty, hang on. Yeah.
Spot that, Ben?
No, but it was loose by the Saints, wasn't it? Just in the backfield, they get away with it.
Just checking for you.
Shoveling on ball, trying to get round the outside.
Yes, late tackle and tackle off the ball, just in front of the 10-metre.
Okay, tackle on 10, off the ball, penalty only. Thank you, Kitty. Be careful, let's pick the right man.
The relief.
Wait, Matt. Hang on,
Northampton
hang on,
at this
hang on,
stage.
hang on. Dan.
You just feel that the
So
gears
after the kick, sorry. Okay, after the kick.
are going upwards.
Sorry. Yeah.
From Exeter. They don't seem to have too many
I
answers
thought he
at the
went
moment,
like
Northampton.
back on the ball. I thought he released and went back on the ball.
That's a huge kick.
It's a great kick, isn't it?
No, it wasn't
It's
right
an
now.
attacking platform on the 22.
Reinach let the ball go. Yeah,
New
okay,
line
time
out
off.
now. Jamie Gibson
Time
on
off.
will give them
Numbers.
a little bit more athleticism. Ribbons as well.
Okay, no problem.
Ribbons is the man to organise it.
Exeter 4.
So Dave Dennis has come off, replaced by Sam Skinner.
Just the
Another
line, please,
excellent
Alex.
showing from Dennis. And Van Veek and Painter making way for Paul Hill and Alex Waller. Fish feeding Naira Voro. What can the Saints do from this promising field position? Need something, and they need it quickly.
Play on.
Reinach's been half caught.
Off the ball, you're off your feet. No.
And it's there for Exeter, another vital turnover. Cowan Dickey now.
No, you backed out, you backed out.
White trying to suck in those defenders.
Just watch them, please. Release and move. Don't place it into him. No, Saints, no. Use it. Johnny, wait to be put on. 8, stop. Thank you. Now you're good.
Collins fielding in the deep. Bundled by O'Flaherty and Kovacic. Saints need to wake up and see where the ball is. Here's Ludlam, but they're well behind the gain line. Reinach, Bigger, Hutchinson. Oh, lovely bit of work here from Collins. Tucks it over the head of Simmons. Collins chasing hard. Simmons gets a finger on it, and Noel is back there.
Take it in, take it in.
Jack Noel will take on Reinach. Brought down by the tap tackle.
Release him. No hands, 6, no hands.
Kovacic driven back, and Northampton having to raise their game here. They know
Now use your feet.
we are
Use
right
it.
in the heart of matters.
No, not yet.
Next score, utterly pivotal. And Nick White fires it out of immediate danger.
Yeah, some good play.
Thank you, Tom.
From Collins, nearly comes up with the goods, just gets a slight little nudge just after he's kicked it. It's legal, he's
Cobus.
committed to the tackle.
Hang on.
But just
Your
by not
replacement.
dying on it there, Nick
It's all
White,
right.
he's probably saved his team because a free
Time
run
on.
to the line. And Collins might have won the race against Simmons.
New scrum half for Northampton. Mitchell has replaced Reinach, and Naira Voro is up to the 22. Mitchell for Fish. Harrison. They call him the Cobra, don't they? Spitting his way through the contact point.
Knock on, Jack, or play
Ball
on?
is loose. Gibson.
I'm onside. I haven't got a knock on, so
Okay,
play
we'll
on.
play on.
I'm checking.
Lost forwards.
Nothing clear for the original one.
Okay, we've got a knock on versus Saints.
Viewers. Striding forwards, brought down by Gibson. Quick transfer to Cowan-Dickey. Chiefs warming to their theme here. Eager to deliver the killer blow. Devoto taking on Nairavoro. Slade now easing forwards.
No, T.
White.
Thank you.
Kovacic. Hepburn.
Tackle off the ball
Just
by
enough
Northampton
bodies in the
18.
way for Northampton at the moment. For how long can they hold?
Penalty.
White keeping the tempo high. Devoto dragged down, and the penalty is Exeter's.
Where you are there, number 18.
Tackle off the ball.
Excellent play
Previous
from the
breakdown.
Chiefs. The manipulation of the Northampton defence. Firstly by Ewers, brilliant break from him. Gibson does so well to get back. There's the little spillage. Ewers up and away, straightens, accelerates. Gibson does back, comes back.
Okay, time off.
Cowan-Dickey does really well not to offload here. Thinks about it, holds on, but now he's tied in all those white shirts. So Exeter go really wide as a result, and they find easy meters on the outside. Nairavoro beaten. He's going to struggle to get back into position, just blowing a bit in the heat. And the penalty is for a bit of a hit on Kovacic there.
Time's off because of a man down. Yep, decision. We'll go
Just
for a corner.
knowledge of where the space is going to be after the initial
Time
bust for Exeter.
We were talking in the truck, weren't we, before the game about whether Yandel has overtaken Cowan-Dickey as potential
then,
for
guys.
England
We'll
in
put
number
time
2.
back
But I
off.
think
No
what you
rush.
saw there
No
is
rush.
how good Cowan-Dickey is as an impact player.
No rush.
He makes the massive hit on Courtney Laws. That spills the ball, and he bounces to his feet and is on immediately on a support line.
Okay.
Different type of
Time
hooker,
on.
different type of player, but very, very powerful, useful off the bench.
And he's found Kovacic with his line out.
Still the
And
same
the Chiefs are going to work
That's
now.
once.
Great defence. Laws there, lies on top of the ball. It just split in front of Laws, didn't it?
Sideways, then defended to ground by Black. Turn over.
Worth his weight in gold. Courtney Laws, who's now shifted, of course, to the second row. Signed a new contract this season,
I know sometimes
along with a raft of youngsters from the academy, as Saints look to secure their long-term future.
Okay, new personnel, we have the same standard we've seen it, okay? It'll be slow and deliberate.
Lewis Ludlam has run his race this afternoon as well now. So on the hour mark, Tom Wood.
Right, gents, slow and deliberate, take your time, be balanced.
9 years a Saint now, and of course a match-winning try in the semi-final from 5 years ago. It's the Tigers, which will live long in the memory. 20 minutes to turn this around from here.
Crouch!
I was just trying to work out actually exactly how much Courtney Laws is worth, if he's worth his weight in gold. Currently 32
17
pounds per
green
gram.
gate.
Let's say he's 100 kilos, so it's about 320 grand. I think he's worth more than that. Well, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So Ali was right.
Yeah.
His weight in gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just affirming what he said.
You've always got my back, Austin.
Just be controlled.
Sometimes, anyway.
Well, if that's the case, can I come to Australia with you and the next time you commentate on sailing, please?
Okay, time off.
Application only.
Yeah, stay there.
Right, last
Time's
quarter.
off, replacement.
16 points the
Replacement,
difference.
Time's off, replacement.
Otherwise, we will be seeing a repeat of the 2018 Premiership final between Saracens and Exeter.
Get him in the middle, Tom.
Henry Slade is coming off. He was just stretching
Time on.
off a little while ago.
Stretching again, isn't he? Brad Barrett obviously leaving the first semi-final. What looked like a more serious hamstring injury. The last thing that the Chiefs want is their own centre with the same problem.
Step back, Tom. Thank
They
you.
want him fit and available for next Saturday if that's their assignment. Sam Hill on in his place. Collins does well under the high
Regather, good
ball. Kovacic latched over it.
Hold.
Mitchell for Davidjuk, who's on loan from Coventry. Former Gloucester man, of course. This is Mitchell. Real spark to his game this season.
No, step back.
Tuala for Ribbons. Mitchell quickly to his feet. Bigger.
Just wait, 22,
Lying
thank
deeper.
you.
Sending it away for Hutchinson.
Halfway.
He hasn't measured that up.
just the game just completely getting away from
About
Saints
2
at the
metres
moment, isn't
over
it?
halfway.
You see what Bigger's trying to do, just change it up.
To your right, 2 metres, Jack.
Where we going?
Just the accuracy,
Another
not
metre,
quite
Jack.
there.
Another metre to your right.
Hang on.
To my right, Key.
In.
Yeah, Jack, where Jack is,
Step
that's
off
fine.
2 metres. 2 metres, guys, sorry.
Luther Brewer
Move
with
off,
us.
Saints, 2 metres.
150th Premiership appearance, and if the scoreline remains even remotely similar, it will be his last. Off to play rugby league, of course, with the Warrington Wolves.
Luke in the middle.
Long time served with the club.
Stop, top, subs.
He's been a terrific player across the years, at his best. Truly international quality. And a big cheer for a very important face in these parts. Sam Simmons is on, and the cheer you feel just as big for Dave Ewers, who's had a pretty mammoth hour or so. He's been everywhere, hasn't he? Really putting it about from the first minute. Taken in by Skinner of Exeter, and Kvesic is held on halfway. This is Hill. Simmons. Cuthbert bouncing through Hutchinson. Gibson rushing out of the line. A little sniff of an intercept. Tom Wood first off the blocks here as well. Some of the Sandy Park faithful aren't necessarily agreeing that the line speed is legal. Out they come once more. Francis is on the ball. Simmons. Noel. Trying to straighten. Gibson has his number. Kvesic. Simmons. Hill bustling forwards. Altogether a different kind of threat to Henry Slade. Powerful, squat, hard to bring down. Simmons. Devoto, who's been outstanding today, pops it off the ground. O'Flaherty, scorer of that wonderful try.
Off feet, let it go. Thank you, Paul.
Noel. Oh, he's got through Collins. Pops it up for Hill. Noel for Hepburn. Held by Harrison, but driven to the ground. They've got the advantage here, Exeter. Opportunities everywhere.
Just the penalty, he went shoulder up onto the net.
And the tackle was too high.
It's just wave after wave, and just the fatigue creeping into the Saints defence now. So many Exeter players able to step out of tackles and bust through. And once they're in behind you, it's very, very difficult to stop that wave of momentum. You have to stop them on the gain line, hit them behind the gain line. There's the high shot. Harrison trying to do just that. Just slips up a little bit.
Looks like they go into the corner again. They really do back themselves, don't they, the Chiefs?
All the way through. I mean, it took a very long time, didn't it, for them to even have a shot at goal this season. We were well into October before that happened, I seem to remember. But it's an indication of their confidence in their set-piece work. Something perhaps that Don Armand is reminding his team about just now. Don't forget, Wednesday, rugby tonight from 8 o'clock, when we'll be looking forward, of course, to the Gallagher Premiership final, which is next Saturday at Twickenham. Rugby tonight, 8 o'clock Wednesday, BT Sport 1, and the final itself. Live from 2 o'clock, BT Sport 1 and 4K UHD, where we will crown our champions. And a long old season will draw to a close. Not as long as next season, mind you. We're setting new records. So is this where Exeter kill off the Northampton Saints? Sam Skinner secures the line-out ball. The driving work is well underway. It's there for White.
They've got a freebie, the Chiefs, as well. Harm out advantage.
Penalty advantage.
And from close range, they burrow.
Release!
Kvesic launched. Cowan Dickey over the line, but held.
Held up, then he rolled.
And some desperate defending here from the Saints right now. It's do or die.
Yeah, it's just a creaking dam, isn't it?
19 underneath, collapsing.
Feel that at some point it's going to give. They need a big moment, a huge turnover. Courtney Laws to come to the fore at this line-out drive and try and get through and disrupt as he did last time we were down here.
Off the line, please, guys. Collapse. Yeah.
Some lungs are being tested. And the speed with which the Chiefs are playing at the moment
7 in.
is causing Northampton all kinds of difficulty. Sam Simmons this time launched highest. It's a little more ordered and a little more structured this time around from the Exeter Chiefs. Simmons is there in the thick of things. Saints defenders splintering inch by inch. The Chiefs make ground. It's gone forwards.
Must appear immediately.
Key moment. Call from the sideline was that it was potentially knocked forward.
Yeah, but
Certainly the ball didn't come back from the resulting
difficult to hear what he's inputting.
melee on the floor. Can't turn a ball into a ruck, so
if I had the same level of trust in all nines, then maybe we could work like that, okay?
Well, what an effort this Northampton squad is putting in right now. They are right on the brink, you feel. Body language suggests men that cannot take an awful lot more.
We good? Let's go.
It's not done quite yet. And they have to find more.
Control the weight at every stage and do not pre-engage.
Objective number one. Find your way out of coffin corner. It's a free kick here for the Chiefs. Early engagement. Nick White screaming at his men. He was quite keen on launching something rather speedier than another scrum. Both options are good ones.
We had no problems until you two came on. Please, every stage, one step at a time.
So you really get the feeling it might all hang on this right here, right now. This has to be a monstrous scrum from Northampton.
Just the pair of you.
If they're to keep any kind of hopes alive.
Quite clear what I just said. Please respect the space because this side is fine and we've had a free kick against both of you and then you've both just pre-engaged immediately at the next scrum. Control the space and take your time. Okay?
Let's
go.
Options here then, Oz?
Yeah, I think here, when the scrum's on this side and you've got three frontline runners and options, the guy that comes under most pressure is Piers Francis. He has to work out which way he's going to go. Is he going to go right and stay tight and get beat on the outside? It's very, very difficult to defend in that 12 shirt.
Time off.
You can still see from behind, actually, that they've stood Collins in tight to give the extra man, but because he's so close to the scrum, he doesn't actually do anything other than maybe take out the option of Simmons from the base. There's threats everywhere for the Chiefs.
It's Piers Francis, the man highlighted.
I have to say, if Billy Vunipola was in the 8 slot, I would think this is a try, provided the scrum's got a right shoulder, or even not, actually.
In it goes, big shove, straight out. White is caught by Mitchell.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage being played, and Alex Waller's been penalised yet again. Playing with freedom and a free shot here, Exeter. Picked up by Hepburn. White waiting for options, waiting for runners. Johnny Hill is one of them.
Still advantage.
Closer and closer they go. The black machine in all its glory, rumbling forwards. They're close, agonisingly close. One more surge might send them to Twickenham. They go beyond the line.
Behind the line, behind the line. No, ball's not out.
Simmons waits over the ball, drives over the top of the bodies, and he's thwarted.
It's held up. It's huge from the Saints, but they just cannot get the ball back.
Stop. Okay, wait. Up you come.
As the clock ticks on, this is exactly where the Chiefs want to be. They're happy with this lead. If this isn't scored...
Yes or no. If not, we're coming back for a no-arms tackle or an option of the penalty against 17.
OK, try yes or no on the grounding.
So TMO Rowan Kitt being asked for an adjudication here as well.
You've got 17, tight head for Northampton also going to knee as well, okay, mate?
Yeah.
So we can...
There's the ball on the floor just to the...
To try that, isn't it?
Just between the legs of the Northampton player.
One
Looks
here
like it's
or
over
one
the
over
line
there.
to me. The question is it under control?
Yeah. You've got two choices.
There's the ball.
It's right in the thick of it.
You can't see whether it's under control. So if the
OK, I've got
yes or no.
I've got a grounding on the line.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, it's a try.
OK, try awarded. It's got a picture of the ball on the line, so it's a try.
That's it. That's probably the score that seals the deal from here. 10 minutes to change things from a Saints perspective, but Sam Simmons is awarded Exeter's 5th of the day, and surely it's the one that points them all the way to Twickenham. No more deserving character either. Sam Simmons, who of course had that horrible injury, suffered in September all the way back in round 5. And he's come back off the bench last week, off the bench this week, and a try now in the semi-final with 10 minutes to play. It's 35 points to 12.
It's just relentless, the power, isn't it? How do you stop them? How do you knock them back? How do you beat that physicality in the red zone? Very, very tough. If there's one side that can knock them back physically, though, as we saw in the Champions final, it's Sarries.
Flatty coming absolutely flying through. Whipped off the base by Jack Maunder, who's come onto the field at 9 for the Chiefs. Skinner for Kovacic. A little bit of fancy footwork from the number 8.
You're off your feet, let it go.
Maunder having to wrestle with it. Simmons for Hill. Maunder, Hill. Hepburn. Well held this time by Ribbons.
21 stop.
Simmons had enough of playing behind his 10-metre line. Back goes Burrell, tricky bounce. He's onto it. And handing it to Wood, who's enveloped immediately by Oli Devoto. And the penalty is Exeter's. Everything going their way now. They are marauding. They are scavenging.
He's off his feet, he's on his feet.
And they are winning with a little bit despair.
Well, they are. Joe Simmons been great all game. And he's just started controlling the field position. He knows where his big set of forwards want to play in the red zone, and he gets them down there. Oli Devoto, another player that's played well, forcing the tackle, forcing the turnover. It's not the best of kicks from Simmons.
On comes Gareth Steenson. And significantly, off goes Tom O'Flaherty. A day that will live long in his memory. An outstanding showing. And one of the great semi-final tries.
So Joe Simmons slots back to full-back. Jack Noel onto the left wing, replacing O'Flaherty.
Here's Sam Simmons with that trademark explosive turn. Maunder for Cowan-Dickey. And the quality of those they've been able to call upon from the bench really significant as well. Cowan-Dickey, international. Hepburn, international. Francis, international. Front row power to burn, and some extra bustle from Sam Hill as well.
Ball's there, let it come.
Through the middle they go. Strong work from Hepburn. Was that little knock forward from Simmons? It was. Just a little overexcited as he tore through.
Just a small knock on.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's attendance is 12,500.
8 months on the sidelines for Simmons. And another one who will just be hoping beyond hope that he hasn't left it too late to be considered for the plane to Japan, because prior to injury he was right in the mix.
So you can't have it both ways. Here we are. Right, nice and steady, nice and slow. Let's get it right.
Celebrations already have begun at Sandy Park.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Steady, hold it, don't go around the outside.
Away from the base quickly from Harrison.
Off feet, off feet.
Mitchell for ribbons.
Off feet, Don, off feet, let it go.
Collins. Swallowed up by Devoto. Quick transfer for Wood, but it went forwards. And Hill brings in Simmons, sends it wide to Steenson, attacks the line, threads it through, Cuthbert racing after it. It's sitting up, and it's been gathered in by Mitchell. That surely went forwards to Burrell. Play on, they say.
Yeah, it was a forward pass.
Forward pass.
Again, line speed of the Chiefs, led by Matt Kovacic, forcing the turnover. And then as soon as they turn it over, chip through, turn Northampton. Really good recovery at the back from Mitchell. The pass, Burrell just drifting in front of his man.
There is so much to be optimistic about from a Northampton perspective, even allowing for the scoreline and the crushing disappointment they will all feel at the end of this afternoon. But they are building in a very meaningful fashion with a fabulous crop of youngsters, a smart director of rugby, clear direction of travel.
We mentioned before the game how important it was for those Northampton coaches that their team played in the right areas of the field, and Exeter have managed to control this. Played exactly the sort of game plan they wanted to. So much time in the opposition red zone. For that 65 phases down, Northampton having to defend, and then 33 points from 11 visits. It's huge. Just the fatigue that it's caused for Northampton as well, having to defend psychologically, physically.
And hinging on the other side.
A step too far at this stage of their evolution under Chris Boyd.
Okay.
The big question is how effectively Can the Chiefs stretch Saracens? How much have they advanced from a year ago when they were fairly comprehensively beaten at Twickenham? There has been an awful lot of reflection since that point. They felt that decisions were not taken at the right moments, or at least poor decisions at the moments that cost them, as opposed to a lack of dimensions to their game. It'll be fascinating to see how it plays out.
Out you come, Courtney. Don't move.
They will come brimful of confidence, having topped the table at the end of the regular season for the second successive campaign. A hatful of points. Almost all their frontline players fit.
Ball is available. Thank you.
Last couple of minutes to close things out here. And they are miserly. They will not want
on the ball.
Saints getting another sniff of possession. Johnny Hill.
Step back, keep going. Thank you, Tom.
Armand. Tackled well by Waller.
That's a tackle, move away!
Last few moments of professional rugby union for Luther Burrell. To the short side go the Chiefs. They would like to finish with a flourish.
Let it go, you're off your feet!
Hepburn. Denied. Maunder in to shield the ball. Cowan-Dickey has Simmons riding alongside him.
Ball available.
Armand, still Armand, burrowing forwards, looking for number 6.
Skinner thinks he's scored, doesn't he?
Okay, it was held up. Hand underneath it. Scrum.
Don Armand pleading with Matthew Carley to have another look at that. Time for our man of the match, Ben.
Oh, it's tough. It's been such a complete team performance,
Yes, it was a
working together.
Come in after it's gone on the floor and then trap
I think
it in.
Joe Simmons has been brilliant in terms of controlling the game. Devoto and his partnership with Slade were huge. As Joe Simmons mentioned, but for me, the man that's caused a constant thorn in the side for Northampton, our Gallagher Premiership man of the match, Matt Kovacic, both in attack and defence, is that link player, making turnovers, making tackles, leading the line speed, has been outstanding.
He's had an extraordinary season, and he might help cap the Chiefs' day as he controls at the base, and Sam Hill is sent on his way, and Exeter are sent on their way, all the way to Twickenham. Finishing with a bang, finishing with a 6th try, and Exeter, once again Exeter, for a 4th year running, are Gallagher Premiership finalists.
Oh, this is Sam Hill all over, isn't it? Off the base of the scrum, one-on-one, bounces one, and then just allows everyone else to bind on him and drive him over. Brilliant from Cuthbert. Holds him round the waist so he can't be put down and drags him over the line using Hill's powerful leg drive.
Power in the forwards, power in the backs. Cuthbert, as you said, great latch and carry through, and then the added weight of Devoto. You've just got huge guys carrying power across the line. It's been the story of the day for the Chiefs.
Last week, it was a comfortable 19-point victory with a brilliant second half. Today, a 30-point gap, sealing the Chiefs' place in the final against Saracens next Saturday. It'll be a repeat of last year's final, but we had the 2 best clubs in the land.